Hello and welcome to Open Pakistan webinar series. The Open Pakistan webinar series is an initiative of Open Program for Pakistan. These programs are fully funded by the Regional English Language Office, RELO at the US Embassy, Islamabad. These programs provide professional development opportunities to English language teachers and learners all across Pakistan. These programs include open global online courses, massive open online courses, webinar series, and then engaging our alumni into different productive activities. If you wish to stay updated about Relo Pakistan and its opportunities, you can visit www.facebook.com/Relo Pakistan. Evolution is the local implementing partner in Pakistan. If you wish to stay updated about Open Program for Pakistan, you can visit www.evolution.com.pk/open programs. Under the Open Pakistan webinar series, today we are broadcasting our webinar 7.2. And the topic for the webinar is Design Thinking in English Language Teaching. The presenter for our today's topic is Ms. Amrah Sheikh. Amrah Sheikh hails from Multan. She is an Open Pakistan alumna who has successfully completed Open Pakistan Mentorship Program, have attended various MOOCs and AE Live series and open webinar offered by Relo Pakistan. She holds a master's degree in English literature and MA in TEFL and master's in education as well. She has a signified experience of 16 years as an ELT professional who have taught almost every age of group. Currently, she is working as an English language teacher trainer at English Access Micro Scholarship Program, serving Oxford University Press as a freelancer teacher trainer there. As a trainer, she has conducted various successful training sessions focusing English language teaching methodologies and techniques, lesson planning, and classroom management. Moreover, she trains the student for IELTS examination at different local institutions. She got the opportunity to attend the SALT 2020 and 2021 convention and English Language Expo USA, funded by Relo Pakistan and NALTA International Virtual Think in 2020. She also thinks of herself a continuous learner and believers. By learning, you will teach, and by teaching, you will learn.
Hello everyone, I'm Amrah Sheikh. I belong to Multan, Pakistan. Thank you so much, Relo, for having me today, and I'm truly honored and excited because this is my second webinar which is going to broadcast, and I have got an opportunity to present the second time. So the topic which I have brought today, it's my all-time favorite, that is design thinking in English language teaching. Let's discuss the objectives of today's webinar. This webinar will enable participants to know tools, techniques, and methods applicable for design thinking. Understand the characteristics of design thinking that make it particularly fruitful for education. The participants will be enabled to learn better design learning experiences that meet the needs of our students while also achieving curricular goals. Let's see what else we are having today. So this is the title, Design Thinking in English Language Teaching. But later on I'll let you know that what's the purpose of these 5 images, because these 5 images are related to the same topic which I'm going to present, and these are actually referring the types of design thinking. So what could be the expected questions? Before I move on and kick off my webinar, first, being an educationist, I would like to share my own experience. I used to teach the students when right now I'm teaching the students at university, but before, when I was teaching the students at the school standard, there was always something I used to miss, that we people as teachers are not training the students to find out the solutions to the problems. Though my students were really good at coming up and showing up the good results while executing the quizzes, or whether it is related to examination or the testing, but there is something that the students did not have any idea, that if there is a problem, how to address that problem, how to come up with the solution. So this is what really triggered my mind, that there must be some approach, there must be some the teaching and the learning methodology which the students which the teachers in ELT, in English language teacher, the teachers should train the students for that. And here I go, I researched and then I found that design thinking in English language teaching. And then these were the possible and the expected questions which came into my mind, that what is design thinking teaching? How do you use design thinking in the classroom? How do you use design thinking in everyday life? And I believe these are the questions which everybody should have their mind before they jump into any new idea. Let's begin. What is design thinking in pedagogy? Design thinking in pedagogy is the needed skill. It's 21st century because 21st century is a challenging era. And in this era, we need to train our students on 4 basic skills, that is communication, collaboration, creativity, and critical thinking. And design thinking caters all these 4. And then it is negating the ineffectiveness of traditional approaches and methods, which means that the negation of the bookish learning, the teacher-centered approach, as well as only catering the students with I attitude. Whereas this is the time, the high time, we need to inculcate the approach to the students, that is with I and you attitude. And then design thinking, it's not something new. It has already been having strong roots in architecture, in art, and in design. Design thinking, it's a human culture problem solving approach. It is to enhance creativity and innovation, because when the students are thinking about a problem and then they are thinking what could be the solution of that problem, so it means they are going to start their journey from the solution towards the creativity. Let's see. I'm going to play a video for you. Let's watch human-centered design thinking. You will witness that how human mind can address such problems. Here you go. Wait, I guess there is some problem with the video. Let me play it again.
Design thinking is a 5-step process to come up with meaningful ideas that solve real problems for a particular group of people. The process is taught in top design and business schools around the world. It has brought many businesses lots of happy customers and helped entrepreneurs from all around the world to solve problems with innovative new solutions. Step 1. Empathize. The purpose of Step 1 is to conduct interviews that give you an idea about what people really care about. We need to empathize with their situation. For example, if you want to help old people, you might find that they want to keep the ability to walk around. In your conversations, they might share with you different ways they can do that. Later into the interview, you'll want to dig a little deeper. Look for personal stories or situations where things became difficult. Ideally, you redo the process with many people with the same problem. Step 2. Define the problem. Looking at the interviews, you can now understand the actual needs that people are trying to fulfill with certain activities. One way to do that is to underline the verbs or activities that the people mentioned when talking about their problems, like going for a walk, meeting old friends for tea, or simply going grocery shopping around the corner store. You might realize it's not so much about going out, but more about staying in touch. After your analysis, formulate a problem statement. Some elderly are afraid to be lonely. They want to stay connected. Step 3. Ideate. Now focus only on the problem statement and come up with ideas that solve the problem. The point is not to get a perfect idea, but rather to come up with many ideas, like unique virtual reality experiences, senior-friendly hoverboards, or a modified pushcart. Whatever it is, sketch up your best ideas and show them to the people you are trying to help, so you can get their feedback. Step 4. Prototype. Now take a moment to reflect on what you have learned from your conversations about the different ideas. Ask yourself, how does your idea fit in the context of people's actual lives? Your solution could be a combination of a new idea and what is already being used. Then connect the dots, sketch up your final solution, and go build a real prototype that's just good enough to be tested. Step 5. Test. Now test your prototype with actual users. Don't defend your idea in case people don't like it. The point is to learn what works and what didn't, so any feedback is great. Then go back to ideation or prototyping and apply your learning. Repeat the process until you have a prototype that works and solves the real problem. Now you are ready to change the world or open shop. To experience design thinking firsthand, do the free virtual design thinking crash course from Stanford's D-School right now. You will learn to design a new gift-giving experience. Find the link and a guide for facilitators in the description below. After you are done, share your experience and gift idea in the comments. To learn more about creative and critical thinking, check out our...
Now see, you have just watched a video. In this video, it is clearly stated that how first of all, there are the steps. Like in the procedure, the students first have to find out the problems in the circumstances or in their own surroundings. So it's all about how the teachers are, putting them into the groups, and then they are collaborating. They are addressing all those, they are putting them all the problems into the list, and then after listing down the problems, they are divided in the groups to find out the solutions and then to go for the, the possible outcomes. So let's see how are the educators around the world inculcating this approach. How did I come to know about this approach? I would like to share my own experience. Like I am a permanent member of Teachers Corner on Facebook. There was a teacher, and she was an experienced teacher Hannah. Okay, so she wanted to help her students better understand the benefits of learning the English language in American culture. So what did she do? She thought of this idea of planning the design thinking in her classroom, because she wanted to train her students to come up to first to know the problems and then how to solve that problem. So basically she stated it as a problem solving method, which is motivating the students towards empathy, and then it is centers on helping the people. So I really like that idea. I thought that why should not I plan it out, and I should also bring it, make it my word for others. So its basic formula is successful teachers make successful students. So there is another example I would like to quote over here. One of the elementary schools in California, there were also teachers. They also wondered that how to integrate these skills into their students. So they had published an article, and it was a title, how might we create a 21st century learning experience at our school. So this was also something thoughtful for, they were really thoughtful about that first they thought of this idea of inculcating the design thinking in their curriculum, and then they made and divided the students into the groups. And after dividing the students into the groups, they asked them the same thing, that they first have to go for empathize stage. So they had to list down all the problems, and then after listing down the problems, they had to find out the better solutions for that. So this is how they introduced the school design into their curriculum. So there are lots of the other examples how the people around the world are working on this project and working on this theme and this approach. It is an emerging theme which is now taking place in all the curriculums. Later on, what did I do? Being an access teacher, I tried to take it into my access class. So this is my personal experience which I'm going to share, that I thought that how might my classroom be redesigned to better meet my students' needs. So you could see the students, they are all sitting in the groups, and then I asked them to address all those problems to list down the problems which they might feel that something is missing in the classroom, or they might be feeling some problems or trouble. So they all I divided them in the groups. They all sat together, and then they all started thinking that what could be the problems which we people might be ignoring. And to my surprise, they came up with wonderful ideas. So I decided to talk directly with the students about the best design, and these were the problems which they people, came up. First of all, they asked me to lower down the bulletin boards, and then the spacious mobility in the classrooms. Now see, during your daily routine, we the teachers do not know something like the students might be feeling some problems, but this is what I gave them the space. So when I gave them the space and then asked them to come up with the problems, so they started finding it out, and according to their observation, these were the possible problems which were really troublesome for them. Now what did I do? These were the steps which I had to carry on. So this is called the process of applying design thinking as well. First of all, step 1 says you should choose a wicked problem but be reasonable. Now see, there might be so many problems, and then all the students in the groups, they have to present. They may come up in group, or they may present in pair, or they can pick any problem which could be really adjustable, or which could be really there could be the possible solution. So choose a team wisely, open-minded, hardworking, non-judgmental. So we should not be having a biased temperament or biased behavior about that. So the team, the people, those who are like-minded, they can put together in one team. Now step 3, we should make sure the team knows the steps. So already the teacher should, share the rubric, or the teacher should first of all, to show the, or to tell the process. The teachers might show them the YouTube videos, or they can, they can distribute the articles or the newspaper relevant to those problems, and the students may read it out. They can watch a video, and then they know what they are supposed to do. So that could be a mind-opening session for them. And so step number 4, brainstorm. All ideas are valid, because we are not here to discourage the students that their ideas, that this one group is really good at putting up the idea, whereas the second group is not really successful in doing that. But we have to give the equal weightage to all. And last but not least, prototype. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Yes, we are only showing up the possible solutions, but we cannot say that this is the last solution for that. If it doesn't work, the prototype means we can go for another solution. We can go on with another, the possible solution for that. Now this is what the 5-step design thinking process is, which is given by Stanford School design thinking process. So all these 5 steps are given. That is empathize, that is define, ideate, prototype, and test. Let's see what is empathize. Empathize means the gathering of the information, the collecting of the data. So the students are put together, and they might come up with the interviews, they might go on to survey, they might go face to face to ask questions what the problem the people might face. Or the second stage would be about define, in which they would be coming up in class to present their present what the people have collected, and the problems the people might have told them. In the third stage, ideate. They are going to share their ideas, what is their opinion, their ideas, their solution, what they have planned and thought, so they can come up with their own experience and their own creativity. Prototype. They can come up with the mock-ups. They can check it out, that if the people are really comfortable what they are, what they have planned, what the solution they have given to them, if they are okay with that or not, or they need to iterate it. It's really need to go on. Like, it is not something biased that if we have planned something, so it should go for all. If it doesn't, so there should be some better idea for that. And then the last stage is the testing. The same, like there should be no two-way theory, that the people, those who are designing, like the student, those who are the designers, they first have to put themselves as the users. So there would be the users group and the designers group. Once they will be back into the users group position, they would better think that how the people may face and how the people may, you know, maybe feeling some problems about this. So this is how something on the reality. Then there is another example for you, like the students love to read the storybooks, students love to read the novels, students love to read the dramas. How the teachers in English language teaching, other than putting the students into the groups while having such reading material in classes, how can we transfer this knowledge to the students? Like for example, there is a renowned story of the three billy goats. So after reading the three billy goats graph, decide to help the billy goats reach the opposite side of the creek so they can eat. Now activity for the student, the students may have this, this question as an activity. They might find the solution for these three billy goats, that what could be the possible acts for them so they can go differently other than the author and the writer's point of view. Same is the case, any story character could be given to the students as an inferential question, as a critical thinking question, and it could be as what could be the different end. If this is the problem, they are, for example, Rapunzel. How Rapunzel, what could be the solutions for the Rapunzel to get rid of that prison? So this is all the children's story design activity. So we could take this lead, through the early stages, and then it could move on and on and on. So there is another example for you. You could see in the pictures as well how the students are coming up, bringing up their ideas and using the sticky notes, putting it on the board in the classroom, and then later on they will be discussed about that. So this is the 5-step design thinking process, that is the childhood obesity. The first stage is empathize, in which you have to go for the observation. You might ask the students to go in the groups and ask different students that what do they think, why is the high rate of obesity, and why the students are really up to the junk food. So the interviews could be planned, or the observations or the surveys could be planned. In the second step, that is the define. The students are supposed to clutter their ideas, and then they can come up their ideas in the classroom to present. And in the third and the fourth stage, they have come to the prototype, that what could be the possible solutions, what could be the best plan to execute. And then the last is the testing, where you people have started up, you have to go to the same population, and then you have to test your own solutions to them. If they are okay with that, then you are successful. If you are not, you can go on and think again what could be the second, what could be the improved stage of that. Another example for you, which is the empathy map. There is an example like buying a TV. So there is a character Jamie wants to buy a TV. So where Jamie should start? Now Jamie says, Jamie thinks, Jamie does, Jamie feels. Now see, this what Jamie says. Jamie says that I was expecting something different. What do you think? What size is best? What brand do you like? Where should I start? I want something reliable. And then Jamie is thinking, what else am I missing? Wasting too much time? Why is this so hard? Do they think I'm stupid? I want something awesome. Too many acronyms. Maybe this isn't the best. What is best for me? And then what does he feel? He feels overwhelmed, excited, unsure who to trust, anxious, inadequate, and fearful. And what exactly he does? He checks the website, makes small decisions, postpone big decisions, observes in store, more research, list of pros and cons, compare and contrast different products, and then ask from the friends. So this is the simplest one. I guess and I believe this is more creative to share such kind of the handouts to the students in the classes, put them together in the groups and ask them, giving them the character and the theme, that what could exactly be the situation. The students may come up with all these 4 portions: says, thinks, feels, and does. And here you go with your field projects later on. Achieve your bug. bug. This is something strange for you all. That is big, hairy, audacious goal. This term has been taken up from, entrepreneurship, like the people, those who think that there is nothing to do, there is no change in the world, there is no creativity. Every time when you are feeling yourself stuck up somewhere, you think that this is useless to do, there is no way out. Then there is the thing, you need to think big, you need to aim high, and then you have to achieve your bug, that is big, hairy, audacious goal. It means you have to place this goal in front of your students. Your students have to think that what is their bug. It means if there is a situation, there must be some solution. If there is a problem, there must be a better way out of it. So achieve your bug. So today's webinar's takeaways are: design thinking is about believing that we can make differences to get relevant solutions and create positive impact. It's human-centered, it's collaborative, it's optimistic, and it's experimental. With this all, I'm going to share a few of the quick references with you all. So if you want to have more queries, you want to know more about design thinking, you may go and check these links. With this all, thank you so much from my side. Goodbye. See you once again with another exciting webinar. Goodbye. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Amrah, for presenting such a wonderful webinar presentation. If you have comments, questions, and or suggestions, please write to us on open@evolution.com.pk. Till then, happy teaching and learning.